because my son didn't go to hell. He's not quite in heaven yet, or what we would conceive as heaven, right? Because he's still tied here while I'm doing this work. He's still tied here. Uh, but my son's happy. He parties a lot. I learned a lot about those ancestor altars and what really happens on the other side when you keep up that ancestor altar. Okay. You keep that sugar on there. You keep that fruit on there. You keep them flowers on there. And regular money. I learned. Before he died, I was moving out of my old apartment and I needed help moving over here to this building. And I had up my stuff up. I had my candles up for the Orisha, all that, because I was learning. I had never heard of the Orisha before. Okay. But now I know who some of those voices are that have been talking to me all of my life. And people say stuff, and I'm like, no, you got spirits out there. All they want to do is see you do good. That's all they want to do. Even like the little imps, I'll come and then come and I would tell them, don't tell me shit if it ain't a lottery ticket number. Okay. Or somebody is plotting against me and it could damage my capacity to take care of my children. So once you start giving the order of what you want coming to you, baby, you could block a whole lot of stuff out. But it took my cousin Daniel passing, and I love my cousin Daniel, in 2019, to waken me up again. My mom thought I was losing my mind for a second behind Daniel's death. And then she said, you know what, Vikki, everything you're doing, I've seen the Rastafarians do in the 80s. She remembers all her friends in the 90s who started, wearing their locks and wearing, more naturalistic clothing, and they came out of polyester. I'm saying that for a reason. They stopped wearing mixed fabric. I'm saying that for a reason. And she said, I see where you're going. I started making, here's my product plug. Okay. So I started making my candles only because the candles at my product plug. Okay. Only because I wasn't for certain, right, if the candles that I was buying at the Botanicas were really actually doing anything, right? Right. Then I was like, well, I just want to make candles, right? I wanted to be the Black Bed Bath and Beyond. Okay, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be rich. Okay, I'm gonna like make these candles, and everybody's gonna buy these. I'm gonna be in Walmart, right? And so I want to thank Rhonda Williams and Juanita Calvo. They were my coworkers, and Juanita had already left the board, and she was working on her PhD. And so she was, everybody loves candles, right? So, they were driving over to my house, like we was passing cocaine or some shit, okay, I got the candles, okay, Vikki, how much is it? My teacher friend supported my candle business. I can say that. Even the teachers that I worked with at JTDC, the Juvenile Detention Center, they were buying my stuff. And then people started saying, hey, I think you got a gift. And I was like, yeah, I'm clairvoyant, whatever, and they were like, no, like, I think you got like a gift because, like I lit your candle and then like, I got some money or like whatever they were working on, like right. It happened. And I was like, y'all bullshitting, right? Oh, y'all don't do that. Don't mess with my head. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm crazy already. You know what I'm saying? I don't need no extra stress. And they were like, no, Vic, like, I think you got a gift. So that 2019, 2020, and I started making candles in April of 2020, just because I wanted to be the new Bed Bath and Beyond. And then I started thinking, well, if I'm buying these candles over here from these Botanicas, how do I know that they're actually putting the herbs that's supposed to go on there in there? How do I know that? And then hell, I bought some stuff in one of them and it wasn't even the shit that was supposed to be, because you can go look up what, keto macedone is, right? And I'm like, this look like potpourri.
Hey, the holiday shopping season is in full effect. Come check out the Safe House Winter Wonderland holiday shopping experience, where we have artisan vendors from many different backgrounds that are selling amazing products. Come check us out. We're in Oswego, not too far from Chicago. 4025B, we're the back building, on Route 34, also known as Walter Payton Memorial Highway, Oswego, Illinois.
Right. Or plastic.
Y'all know I'm going there. You know what I'm talking about? So I was like, and then I started wondering, and this is not, and I'm grateful and thankful that God has given you, and I'll say it like that, divine source has given you the power, the authority, and the wherewithal to open up your own botanica, because where are the Black botanicas?
Right.
And when I walk into, and I'm not speaking against my Latino brothers and sisters, because they support my business. Okay, they do. I'm 1%. Okay, it's in my DNA. Okay, but they do. They support my business. You know, they rock hardcore with Cypher Flower. You know, you started with Yelitza Hernandez, and Yelitza told all her friends, and her friends told their friends, and that's my Latino constituency. Jessica tells everybody. I've known Jessica since she was 15. She'll be 30. She tells everybody. You know, but where are the Black botanicas, right? Where are the Black spiritual shops at? When you look at the wide spectrum of that, they're white folks who own the spiritual shops. And I'm like, are you a spiritual shop? Are you a metaphysical shop? Like, what are you exactly? You know? And that's not to say that I don't have, you know, Caucasians that don't support my store, because they do. I feel like I keep grabbing my breath. I don't know why I keep doing this on the slide, but I'm just saying, like, where are our stores? And we should have them. It shouldn't just be the one store on 71st. And they're more, to me, they're becoming spiritual, but they were more like where you should go if you need like natural products, you know.
I know exactly. That's my I love them.
I got a story about that, but I'll tell you off camera. So because I learned about throwing magic. I learned about my powers. I learned about how we see ourselves in a very three-dimensional way, but baby, some of us have been here 1,000, 10,000, 12,000, 20,000 years. Our souls have recycled through, and we are assigned here to help others. I've got my marks from being burned, shot, tortured, hung, everything. I've always been this way, been a root worker to the bone, all of my life, every life cycle. I've always, you want to call me a witch? Oh, shit. Oh, okay.
Oh, come on.
Oh, I said, you want to call me a witch? I'm a witch. You want to call me a root worker? I'm a root worker. You want to call me a healer? I'm a healer. I've been here that long, you know. Some of us have just been here long enough to gain certain skills and knowledge. I've been mixing stuff since I can remember, you know. I've been seeing things. Now, more recently, I can see the spirits with my naked eye. Because, like I said, I'm a scary bitch. I'd be like, what? No, that move. No, the light blinking. No, baby, because you should not be blinking no lights in my house. You know what I'm saying? I promise you. I'm like, The lights started blinking in my baby's room the other night. Okay, baby, we really just need to change the light bulb. But the chain of events that happened right before the light started blinking, he's been sleeping in my room, because I don't play games like that.
Yeah.
Because I know spirits are real. You see what I'm saying? Like, I've had too many interactions with them. They call it paranormal. No, I call it fucking normal. I've had too many interactions with them to do guesswork, you know? And when it comes to my children, I'm not about to leave them in a situation, you know what I mean? And then try to figure the shit out later. No, we're going to all sleep in a room together, and we're all going to figure out later, do I need to move? There's plenty of days that I have, you know, picked up Al.
That's why we started this, because we couldn't do it at the house anymore. We need a location.
You really do. People always think that I have a store. Like, I don't have, my house is my store. I said, I'm one of those old root workers where we make everything at the stove. You know. So no, baby, I can't ship out 400 boxes of blah blah blah. Like, so and so do, because I don't have a fulfillment center. I am the fulfillment center. So I need you to like be patient. Like I pour these candles. You're gonna see wax all over the glass because I'm pouring the candle, yelling at a 5-year-old. So I need people to also understand that. Like those of us, some of us are just born conjurers, and that's like the most. I think that's the best word you could put for me is I'm a conjurer. I started to understand that some people, you got to light the candle, and then they got to put the lamp on the candle, and the oil got to burn on top of that so that they could draw down spirit. I draw them down by breathing on it. It's just in me. And there's some things that I learned about myself. I was like, damn, I wish I had, when he was a kid, did what you guys are doing now. And so I'm grateful and thankful for you, because I tried to be normal as best I could. This is who I am. And I've never felt happier, more at peace. And I love my job as a teacher. It's very difficult for me to not be, working with my students, because I love teaching. But God showed me, and I told God, I was like, when I said, hey, I'm tired of this. And it was like, I said, Lord, when I walk away from this, I want to be able to wake up every day and bless your children. I want to be able to wake up every day and teach them how to pray and kneel to you. Everybody don't believe in Elohim El Shaddai. And I know there's a lot of documentation going on out there, but I can see Source. And Source said to me, I want you to heal my people. I have a short story, and I know I said I was going to be leaving. I woke up and I was telling God everything, right? God came through. I said, hey, God. I'm like, hey, Vikki. I was like, how you doing? He's like, I'm okay. And I was like, okay. I was like, let me tell you, right? So I start running down what everybody that I thought who was spiritual, be like that, was doing. I was like, oh, Lord. And she's selling this. God, no, you know she's not supposed to be selling that, because some people don't even know blah, blah, blah. And he was sitting there, he was just like this, right? He was sitting there, he was like, oh, okay. And I was like, yeah, and I'm in the, I'm hi, Lord. And then he said, hey, Vikki, I said, I said, did you do what I told you to do? I said, but Lord, I'm trying to tell you about, because this she's sending people demons, right? And he said, yeah, no, I got that. I see what you're talking about. Like, I'm gonna address it. Did you do what I told you to do? And when the tone of voice changed, I promise you, I got my black ass up. I said, oh, hold on, wait. Okay. I got the fuck in this kitchen, and I started making my tea for lupus, my tea for herpes simplex 1 and 2, my tea for breast cancer, my tea for, okay, because he said, I told you to make those products to heal them. Did you do that? While you over there busy worried about what she's doing or not doing, that's on her. That's not what I told you to do. I told you to go in your kitchen and to use your skills and your abilities that I put on you to heal my people from the sicknesses that they have, from the things that are coming down the line, so that they are prepared. Are you sitting there going over the scripture for them so that they can have the verses memorized that will send those demonic energies? That's the way I look at it. I'm old school. It's like everything either good or bad. Okay, I don't do no neutral shit. Away. And I said, when you say it like that,
that's a message right there. That's an important message, and I want to thank you for sharing that, because not only is that something that we need to hear, it's something that lots of people that are on their journey, lots of people that are developing these products, lots of people who are communicating with spirit need to hear that message, because there's so much minutia and so much stuff to worry about out there on the internet. Everybody's doing this and doing that. But what are you doing? You know what I mean? Are you doing what your mission is? Are you doing what your gifts? Are you utilizing your gifts in the right way? So I really appreciate that message. It's important on this morning.
We are supposed to come together.
We are.
We are all supposed to come together. He's my spiritual counsel has been talking to me, right? And they were like, and I know I'm not the only person that's hearing this message. And I'll tell the people at my flock, right? I call them my flock, the people who follow me. Look, your spiritual advisor, your reader, whoever it is that you're looking at every day, they should be telling you how to elevate yourself. It's not all about, okay, come buy this candle for money. No, baby. This is about when we go back to energy, the pure form of energy. What have you gained from here so that you can transform again and go to the fifth, the sixth, the seventh, the eighth, the ninth, or 10th dimension? Are you doing are they guiding you that way? Are they feeding your spirit? And if they're not feeding your spirit, why the hell are you watching it? You know, everybody can't sit and do readings all day. Power to the ones that can sit and do that. Because the bitch be drained. I'd be like, you know, I've done that. You know, I that calendar, I used to be like, oh yeah, girl, my calendar booked and busy. Now I'm like, oh, I got one reading today. Oh, Lord, I thank you. Because he also said, I told you to make stuff to help them.
Yep.
But if you got the strength and the stamina to sit every day, you on live every day pulling cards. Readings drain your life source. Folks don't understand that. It wears you off. And then if you read 10 people that day, you got all of their energy that you have intermingled with, and now it's on you. Are you cleansing yourself properly? Are you resting between readings? Folks don't think about that. Then my thing was, and this is what my spirits were always saying, my first mentee class said this too, and they still say to this day, do you have the power and the authority to read somebody? Sometimes that divination is to fix your soul, boo-boo, not somebody else's. You all have a store. You obviously know how to work money, right? So people should be watching you, right, on how to use money properly. Because why am I listening to somebody who's still sitting in their motherfucking basement?
Sure.
Okay. And then they're doing rituals, and this is no offense to anyone, but this is just what I see. And then I have spirits be in my ear. How are you the daughter of Oya and Oshun? That they didn't claim you. That energy feels like me. You're not even Nigerian or are you Igbo?
Have you talked to
Do you know have you talked to a Baba, a Tata, a Hugan, a Mambo? Baby, I got the titles for you. Have you done a Ori reading? Why you claiming somebody? Can you see the spirits that you're talking to? And there was something else I wanted to say. I don't see them with my naked eye. I'm getting better now because I'm calming down. But I see them here. I hear them very well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I burned my candles to the Orisha, because I was introducing myself to everybody. I was like, okay, this is Vikki. Who are you? You know, blah, blah, blah. You know, I was. When it got to Oya, that candle was not burning right. Now, I had never claimed myself to be a daughter of Oya, but it wasn't burning right. Everybody else, clear glass all the way down to the bottom. And I was walking to the altar. I said, "Oh, what's Oya got a problem with me for?" Right? And this is what she leaned forward. She said, just like this. She said, "Do you know who you are?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm Vikki Willis, daughter of Sandra Taylor and Edward Youngblood Willis." She's, oh God. And I said, "Oh shit, I just said the wrong shit." Okay. Let me back up and come back the right way. That's because she is my crown. That was the table that I was seeing. That was her altar that she was showing me. I also learned, and this is just a segue, and I love this, and I thank you all for interviewing me. I also learned that spirits, deities, they talk to who they want to talk to.
Yep.
Okay. So I learned that. So if you sit and you start talking to the cloud, that motherfucker gonna start talking back to you. Okay. I had Marduk creep around the corner, right? I'm sitting there looking out the window like I was doing because we were on, COVID. I'm looking out the window. And then here comes this weird ass cloud. So I was like, now I'm a conspiracy theorist to the bone. And my son was too. That's what I miss. Because we all day we could talk about aliens and all kinds of shit that we used to see up here in Chicago, right? So I was like, the fuck is that? Right? Because I'm like, where did the cloud come from? It is clear blue sky. And then this big ass cloud just comes creeping around and it just literally sits in my peripheral. So I was like, I said, who are you? Right? Because I know that it can only be a spirit. You see what I'm saying? Because clouds just don't come this way unless it was the alien mothership. You know where I'm going with that? So, maybe because I saw some shit. Okay. So I was sitting there like, who are you? He says, oh, I'm Marduk. Oh, okay. So I pulled the phone out. Who the fuck is Marduk? Oh. Made me understand Nimrod, Marduk. Took me back in some life cycles to Babylon. I said, well, shit, that's why as a history teacher, everything looks familiar to me. It's why my child writes in Assyrian writing right now. Because we've been here before. And sometimes the old gods favor you. So some of these new people on the tickety of the talk, and they're showing you how to throw these spells. Baby, some of us have old gods that guard us. And the shit that you burying in the graveyard and you trying to do a freezer spell on a nigga, I might have diarrhea from your thing. But when that old god comes knocking on your door, you're going to end up with syphilis, gonorrhea, herpes. You're going to end up with a low bank account for years. This is those things when they say, oh, I'm blessed and highly protected or I'm highly favored. You got to know who you're fucking with because you don't know their level in spirit.
All day. So absolutely. And I want this to serve as a disclaimer to all them haters
that trying to find out.
That be
no, you don't fuck around and find out.
Shit this way, because everything you said is on point, and we truly appreciate the fact that you have made time for us to have this conversation, even though we didn't get to ask none of our questions.
See, you literally was like, question 1, done. Question 2, done. Done. Like, oh.
But even with that being said, I appreciate that you are being so transparent in this moment because a lot of people on their spiritual journey, because that's what this is about, Black and Spiritual AF. It's about people who are on their journey, maybe just beginning, maybe been on it for years, can check in and be a part of some of these conversations and see where other people are at. A lot of people look up to you. Some put you on a pedestal. I see on the internet.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm not about raising mortals too high. But even with that being said, I feel like you told us about how you do your research, right? You do your research. Yeah. A lot of people just take what somebody said and run with it like it's written in stone. But you do your research and you had your conversations with all the different deities to check in and say, hey, I'm here. What you think about me? What are we cool? You know what I mean?
Instead of being like, hey, right. I'm yours. Like, girl, who the fuck are you?
And those things are important. And I'm just glad that you shared that information and admit that you didn't know everything and you're still learning. Because a lot of people come to us and I don't even talk to spirit like that. Spirit be talking to me. I talk to spirit, but we not having back and forth conversations because my feet is in the dirt. Like I try to stay well grounded for a reason because everybody else around me is highly elevated. Now I could when I'm elevating. I do some magic. But with that being said, people sometimes come and they got all the answers. And it's like, well, we all looking for answers. We're all, trying to figure out what our practice is, the way we do it. And, sometimes if doubt does come in, you just have to know who you are and be assured of what you're capable of, obviously. So with that being said, I just want to ask, are there ever times where you feel like, or have there been times where you feel like, okay, I know who I am, I know what I can do, but everything is just coming at me, hit me so hard, and how do you deal with those times? You know what I mean?
I lay down on the floor and I give thanks to God. I go to the lake a lot. I live a block and a half from the lake. I used to live right at the lake, so the water would come onto our parking deck.
I know where you live.
Yeah, I love South Shore. I used to talk shit when I lived on the west side until I moved to South Shore, and I'm like, I can't leave the lake.
That's where we lived last time we was in the city. We were in South Shore before we came out here.
Man, this is hot. I'm not saying they don't do it right, a tap 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 like they did on Tuesday night, because they did, okay. But I'm so sorry. I hope that did not. I don't know if I can even. It doesn't.
No, you're good.
We can hear you.
Oh, beautiful.
Okay, like I. That's how much I have to be by the water. It's like, my guy was like, "Oh no, we're gonna move to the west side." I was like, "You can move. We can still fuck, but I'm staying by the lake. Okay, I'll be at the house at night, and then I'll be back over here because I can't leave the water."
Yeah, really.
I was looking for a house in Oswego, that's by some water, okay, because I need water.
Right on the creek.
I lay down, and I talk to spirit. I have you said something so amazing to me. As you elevate, and people don't understand this, as you change and you get closer to God and you get closer to your regular self, you start. I call this us our middle self. So we got our higher self, we have our lower self, and I feel like we are in our middle self. And as you connect those together, a lot of folks are like, "Oh, I'm just trying to connect to my higher self." I'm like, "How are you connecting just to your higher self when you ain't fixed the other stuff?" You got to fix your pettiness. You got to fix that need to want to attack, because your guys, your wards will protect you. Ma Kalima, she's still there. I may not have her altar up like I used to, but her candle still burns. She's still there. I have my wards. You're blessed with a spiritual counsel, right? And when you don't know something, you ask questions. This life is a lot of reading. I used to have 5,000 history books. I'm about 2,000 occult books at this point, okay? Because nobody can ever be at the top of their game. We are in the flesh. We're still making it. The shaman has a shaman, and that shaman has a shaman, right? And then they will often tell you, I can be the teacher and a student at the same time. So you can't always be leading things and not taking a class. You cannot be like, "Oh, I'm this and my title says it." I'm not big into titles. I've been alive too many times to be into titles. I don't have a title because I am that I am, was the title that I was told. So when people ask me, "Well, what are you?" I am that I am, because that's what I was told to say. I was told to say that by the Orisha. I was told to say that by the Loa. I was told to say that by Marduk, by Nimrod. I was told to say that to people because you are who you are. God made all of us. You know, the spirits would not be without us. We create spirits. Without us feeding them and praying for them, there would be no them. Some of them have been here, yes. Okay, well, yeah, I ain't stupid. I know what the fuck I'm saying. But they wouldn't be here if we didn't call and summon them, if we didn't feed them, if we didn't put that altar to bring that as a doorway. If you're not comfortable with having an altar in your house, don't do that. A lot of people back in the day just didn't have altars in their homes. We did all of our magic out in the woods, in the trees. So that way when the spirits came to meet you, you would leave them out there and they wouldn't be in your home. And I don't think a lot of folks really discuss that with people. You know, my ancestor altars are portals into my home. My working altar is a portal into my home, and it is heavily guarded. You know, you better not come across that salt line. That's just how I feel. Now, I got folks who was in this apartment that was here before I moved into this apartment, and I can't tell them to get out because I need them.
There you go. It's your girl love or more. Call me what you want. Don't call me for front.
And it's cool, Joe. This is the Black and Spiritual AF podcast. Today we are joined by an amazing woman. A lot of you guys may already know her.
By TT.
Hey, the holiday shopping season is in full effect. Come check out the Safe House Winter Wonderland holiday shopping experience, where we have artisan vendors from many different backgrounds that are selling amazing products. Come check us out. We're in Oswego, not too far from Chicago. 4025B, or the back building, on Route 34, also known as Walter Payton Memorial Highway, Oswego, Illinois.